Hi guys, Nicole Neales here with Sonar Sewing Patterns, and today I'm going to walk you through the simple process of making your very own can cooler. The reason that I love to work with cork, especially when making can coolers, is because it's naturally water resistant. Another aspect that I love about cork is that it's a sustainable resource, which is super important to me. Being a vegetarian, taking care of the earth is a top priority. So to get started today, we just need one small piece of cork. You'll see it's a 20-inch by 4.75 inches, and just two small pieces of thermal batting. This is all that you need to bring this project to life. So let's get started. Over here on my cutting machine, I have my cork preloaded, and I have my SVG file already loaded and ready to go as well. I'm going to go ahead and get this started cutting. On this mat, I have an extra sticky mat underneath the cork because the cork is considered a fabric, so we like to treat it the same way when we are using a cutting machine. There are lots of colors of cork. This is such a great project because you can combine colors of corks, you can do appliques or reverse appliques, and it's just easily customizable in every sense. Again, like I talked about earlier, with cork being a water-resistant textile, it makes it a natural go-to for making a project like this. So the machine has finished cutting. I'm going to peel away. It's that simple to use the cutting machine to cut out this SVG file. Since I already have one cut and ready to go, I'm just going to get this guy out of the way. And so what we're going to do is, after we have our two pieces of thermal batting, we're going to lay them with a 1/4 inch around each side here, on the closest to the middle. The next step that we're going to do is just simply fold up, and we want to line up all of our cut out edges here. The cork will crease nicely if you finger press it, and then you can also use glue at this step or clips. Always an easy go-to. Another great aspect about working with cork is that you can leave the edges raw. So the next step after this would be to take this whole piece to your sewing machine, and you're going to quilt all the pieces together. You want to be sure to sew even over the bottom, combining the two seams down here to make sure that they don't come apart later on. And at this point, you can get wild with your stitching. You can measure all of your widths. You can quilt like you would on a normal quilt. Do whatever you want at this point, but the main goal here is to ensure that you go around every outside edge. So after we have our project already ready to go and quilted, the next step that we're going to do is fold it right sides together, and you're going to clip the right and left sides, and you want to make sure, as best as possible, that your two top lip edges meet up nicely. Next, what we're going to do is just sew using an 1/8 seam allowance down both left and right side. So I'm going to pop over to the machine to show you. I normally use a 3 stitch length, but a lot of times, because I'm going to be flipping it inside out, I will lower my stitch length down to a 2. So once you get started, be sure to backstitch really well at the beginning and end. Now that I'm at the bottom down here on the right side, back stitch really well. All right, now we're just going to flip it and do the other side. The thread that I prefer to work with when I'm working with cork is just a basic all-purpose thread, quilting cotton. And another tip is to use a very sharp needle. So you want to be sure to trim your threads here, keep everything nice and neat. And then the last and final step, what I like to do is kind of jimmy it around a little bit, make it stretch out. You're going to start on the bottom and start pushing up. You're going to work the cooler to be right side out. Got to give it a little bit of muscle here. And there we go. Easy as pie, comes together really quick, and it's also a wonderful gift, and it fits cans perfectly.